It's that heat, boy.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Luck here with Vinky Sports Cards. Hey, hope you guys had a fantastic month of January and a good start to 2020. Today we got a different type of video. We actually haven't done one here before on the channel, so that's a speculation, opinion, looking into the future, whatever you want to think. But I've had a couple requests to do one of these, so I finally said, yeah, I got to get it done. Football season, last day of the season, so let's do it. What bigger impact on the hobby than the quarterbacks in the NFL? So what I'm going to do is evaluate the 2020 quarterbacks, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on who you should buy, who you should sell, and who you should hold on to. So I put together a little PowerPoint presentation here for you guys, and let's get into it. So we will start with who to buy. So we'll start with Josh Allen. Young quarterback, physical talents, size, arm strength, mobility. I was actually surprised with his mobility when I saw him play the Cowboys, who they really humbled the Cowboys in that game. But guys had a lot of talent, right? And I think that they had a top 10 defense, I believe, this year, which is a quarterback's best friend, especially a young quarterback. Playoffs in the second year. I get it, they went down to the playoffs, but what it does, it boosts confidence for a young quarterback. So if you look at that rookie class from last year, a guy that's at that kind of mid-tier price range, I think that you can go after those cards. They're still affordable, and I think that if you look at a team like that with good coaching, good structure, that's somebody who can escalate. So like I said, I do like Josh Allen. And if you look at his stats here, number 23 overall, I get it, but this is kind of based on yards. But what sticks out to me is that 9 interceptions for, like I said, for a young quarterback to come up with 85.3 rating. That's pretty solid. So I do like Josh Allen. Second guy on the list. Oh, these are in no order, by the way. They're not ranked. It's just who I think you should buy. I picked like 3 or 4 or maybe 5 out of each category. But Dak Prescott. So number one, he plays for the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, a la the New York Yankees, right? They have this tremendous following. The hobby's always going to be there, and so you start with one, right? Two, his cards are relatively low price, even for some high end autos. So I think you can still pick those up. I think that he has gotten better year after year, despite poor coaching. And now with Mike McCarthy, I expect him to do anything but regress. I would look for him to be a top 3 quarterback next year. I look for the Cowboys to win a minimum of 2 playoff games. I don't know what that means, but I think that his value in terms of hobby, where he's at, I think you can pick rookie cards up now, base or autos, and still be in good shape 2 to 3 years from now. Absolutely. You look at his stats, right? Number 2 in passing, almost 5K in terms of yards, 30 touchdowns and only 11 interceptions, and just under 100. Like I said, now the coaching has just gotten elevated. I think the defense is going to be better out of Mike Nolan. Like I said, that can be QB's best friend. So I do like Dak Prescott, absolutely. Number 3, Jimmy G, playing today. Hang on. Obviously drafted by the Patriots, moved out for whatever reasons. But at the end of the day, quarterbacks are remembered or judged upon winning. The guys in the Super Bowl. They have the top defense in the league. Young players on defense. With Bosa probably going to win in Defensive Rookie of the Year. Their defense will be just as good next year. They won't miss the playoffs next year. They can go as deep again. To be honest, I got them to win the Super Bowl tonight. So Jimmy G, I predict him to be a Super Bowl winner, number 1. And we know what happens if guys get 2 under their belt. So I do like Jimmy G. Stats, top half of the league. But 27 touchdowns, only 13 interceptions, but extremely efficient, right? 102 quarterback rating. So when you look at those numbers, at the end of the day, the NFL, a very wise man once said, don't turn the ball over and play good defense, and you can win NFL games. And that was Bill Parcells. And like you said, with only 13 turnovers to 27 touchdowns and a fantastic defense, Jimmy G can get a lot of wins under the belt. Tom Brady, so the GOAT. The GOAT. You're probably thinking, Lucky, what are you talking about, man? That the Contenders card is showed for like $1 million. What I'm looking at outside of the Contenders autograph card, I picked up oh my gosh, I can't even think of what it was. I should have had it on the side here. But anyway, it was a rookie card. It's not necessarily the highly desirable. I think I paid $78 for it. Oh my gosh, which is it? I'll have to get it in a minute. Maybe I'll bring it at the end of the video. And anyway, I think I paid $78 for it. At the end of the day, that card, even in a 7, sells for close to $190. And if you buy second or third year cards in really good condition and they grade out Gem Mint 10s, you're sitting pretty. So I've been picking up a lot of second, third, fourth, or fifth year cards of Brady because 10, 15 years from now, when he's retired and still looking at no one's going to be touching him in Super Bowls, those cards are going to be worth a premium. And I think they will carry on. Because in the day, people didn't hang on to those rookie cards. If they hung on to Brady cards, they hung on to the rookies, not the second year cards, right? Those ended up more trash than the rookie cards did because they're thinking, "Who's this guy?" And they got rid of him. So you get a second year Brady and a PSA 10, you'll be all right though. Stat wise, of course, doing Brady things right. Still 4,000 yards, 60% completion rating, and 24 touchdowns. So it's good stuff. Next to the holds. I'm actually going to grab the store real quick. Hang on, guys. Sorry, they got some yard work going across the street. So the holds. So these are guys that I think you should hang on to because a number of different reasons. Jury's still out. I think there's an opportunity for it to progress in terms of value, or a lot of people may think they're going to regress, but I'm not sure yet. So we'll run through these. Lamar Jackson. Oh, and the other thing is price. If they're priced at the premium, meaning right now Lamar Jackson, I think is, if not the highest, probably the second highest he will ever be in terms of his hobby. And I'm thinking you might be able to group these two together, maybe not, right? Here's his stats. Lower to the end of the scale in terms of passing yards because he does run a lot. He makes up another 1,000 yards for his feet. But same thing with Mahomes. He's right at the peak, right? Now, he has a potential to be maybe the highest ever, right? He wins 2 or 3 Super Bowls, but we'll have to see. Tonight would be step one. Personally, I don't think he wins tonight. So, once again, he just becomes the guy with a ton of yards but hasn't won the Super Bowl yet. So, these two guys, I kind of graded the same thing. They're really, really high priced. If you got them, hang on to them, right? They're not going to go anywhere in the next couple of years. Lamar Jackson will be there. Great defense. Patrick Mahomes, not the best defense, but so much talent on offense. They'll be back in the playoffs again next year. Hang on to it. Put up all kinds of yards too. Eli. So the question is here, is he not a Hall of Famer? And that's why, for me, it's a hold. 2 Super Bowls, all kinds of top 10 stats all time. Obviously, a shortened season for him. The argument isn't the issue here. It's a perception of the hobby, right? And in my opinion, I do think he will make the NFL at some time. So I think if you have those rookie cards, especially if they grant in the 10, hang on to them because I think they will escalate. They won't grow as much as 100 or 200%, but I think you could see as much as a 10 to 15, even 25% growth once he does get into the Hall of Fame. Once again, my opinion, but I think if you have the Eli Mannings, those premium cards, you hang on to them. And the last one is all the NFL rookies 2019. So yeah, nobody really stood out, right, in terms of what they can do. I think we saw flashes, right, from Murray and things like that. But I just think that if you look at the class overall, and if you have the cards, right, especially graded cards or autos, I just think you hold on to them because if you like I said, unless you just want to make the move and grab a quick snap on some cash, you can sell a Kyler Murray for some, pretty good amount of money. But I think that for the long term, I think it's safe to hold on to those cards. Everybody except for, number 8 here, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. I think that each one of these guys has the potential to be a decent NFL quarterback. And then, of course, 2 or 3 will be a good quarterback, and 1 or 2 is going to be an outstanding quarterback. We just don't know yet. I don't think we saw enough from all of them. Kyler's really the only guy that got significant playing time and not the greatest team. So we'll have to wait and see. But in my opinion, if you have those cards, you hang on to them. So the sells. Gardner Minshew. So obviously the rookie, but when it comes down to it, Jacksonville does not want him to be the starter. And most NFL experts don't think that he's the guy to lead an NFL team to a championship. His personality, and be quite honest, the mustache. The mustache is what makes him popular with the hair and, like I said, and everything else that goes in between outside the football. Because when it comes down to it, stat-wise, if we look at it right, he played a pretty significant amount of football. Nothing outstanding. He didn't turn the ball over a whole lot. But I think that physical-wise, arm strength and everything, I don't think he has all what it takes in Jacksonville, smaller market. Defense, not that great. So it's a team that's probably not going to make a playoff run next year unless something dramatic happens, because you got the Texans and the Colts in that division. So once again, I don't think, and plus I don't think he's going to be the starter unless something weird happens. But anyway, popular right now. Like I said, he's got a little bit of demand. Sell the cards, sell the mustache. But long term, I don't think it's going to be there for you. Jameis Winston. So a little bit of a what's the word I'm looking at here? A phenomenon. The guy led the league in passing, right? 5,000 yards. But we all know he's the first 30 for 30 guy. 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. But if you go back and look at his career and you look at the Bucs, right? It's 500 to a little bit above team. He has not showed the consistency or the leadership tangibles to take that team to the next level. And I think that those things, right, the intangibles, the leadership qualities, is what can impact the quarterback position way more than other people think. And I think that coaching-wise, I get Arians and what he wants to do, but I think you'll probably see more of the same. A lot of touchdowns, a lot of yards, but a lot of interceptions. So I think if you have the rookies, you've seen it decline every year, the demand for those. So get rid of them now, because I don't think Jameis is going to do anything much more positive than he's done. So I think that that's a spent deal. Cam Newton. So right after they went to the Super Bowl, I made a prediction. I think it was on one of the very first videos I did that Cam Newton would be out of league in 4 years. And I said that for a couple different reasons, because I thought that he was the guy that would let the fame get to him and his popularity get to him, and it did. Now, the injuries, of course, do not help. But at the end of the day, even when he was so-called healthy, he looked bad. He looked bad. The hat and the scarf didn't do any good. People don't believe him anymore. Scouts don't believe him anymore. Coaches don't, physical-wise, and plus for the weird personality things that are going on. So once again, if you got him, high-end stuff, autos, tins, sell him, because he may not come back on the field. And if he does, he will not be starting, or if he starts for somebody, it's going to be a very bad team, and things are not going to go well. There's the stats. Obviously, 44th, hardly any playing time this year. And last, but certainly not least, Baker Mayfield. Came into the season all kinds of hype. His hobby was way at the top. I saw this coming only because, like I said, I'm no junior leader to the hobby, or it comes to the NFL. I followed it probably the closest out of any sport. But if history shows us anything, it shows that if you're a meatball, you will not be successful as an NFL quarterback. Things will catch up to you, whether if it's the media, fans, family, the pressure, whatever. Look back historically at those high-end draft picks. They were meatballs. The Jeff Georges, the Ryan Leafs, and even their own franchise, Johnny Car Insurance, as I like to call them now. They pick these guys, and the bottom line is that if you look at a Ryan Leaf or a Jeff George, Baker does not have those physical skills. He has nowhere near the arm as those two, nowhere near the size, nowhere the visibility, and he's not as fast as people think he is. Excuse me. So his hobby's still medium of the pack right now, if not a little bit higher. So my advice is get rid of those cards, sell them where you can, cash out on them, and be done with it. Because he is, I think that team and that franchise is just destined for failure. And we'll see how it comes in the offseason. He goes off on one or two tangents. It's not going to end well for Baker. And I don't predict him to be a long-time player in the NFL. I just don't. But that's it, guys. That is it. Those are the quarterbacks. Who to buy, who to hold, who to sell. My opinions only. Do what you want with it. Hope you enjoyed the video. I appreciate you guys watching. Please subscribe. And enjoy the Super Bowl tonight. Later.